What is up, lads? It's CM9 here. Welcome to another Chelsea match review. Chelsea have bodged up another game of football. What a surprise. Well, are you even surprised? Because I'm not. Look at my face. Just tells you all you need to know, really. I mean, it's just the same thing every week. What else is there to say? I can't think of anything else to say. I've said it countless times. Week in, week out. We can't finish, can't kill a game off. Oh, look, we've conceded. Oh, look, we've conceded again. Oh, what a surprise. Same old crap. It doesn't really matter who we're playing. It doesn't really matter how bad they are. It doesn't really matter what their record is. It doesn't really matter how bad their players are in form. We just somehow manage to bodge it up. Every bloody week. How many more times do we have to go through this? You know what? In the Champions League game when we got beaten 3-0 at Stamford Bridge, the reality was set, the reality set in. I mean, we knew right there and then that we're not the elite club we thought we were. Dude, we can't even beat Bournemouth. We can't even beat a team that's lost 12 in 16 games. A team that have only won 1 point out of 30 games from losing positions. Like, what hope have we got right now? It's just getting to a point where we literally can't do anything whatever we do. We need to understand the true problems of this club. I'm not going to go on and start talking about the performance. Okay, let's just talk about the performance in a little bit more depth. So, we go 1-0 up through Marcus Alonso in the first half. Great strike. The ball comes off the bar, it falls to Marcus Alonso and bang, he finishes it. First half was pretty damn good. I mean, it was a little bit shaky to begin with. We looked a little bit... It was a bit of a slow first half, but then after we'd gone 1-0 up, it looked like we were sort of like in more control of the game. Up until the first half it finished. Second half, wow. It went downhill. It went so far downhill. You have no idea. Bournemouth started to get better. And then what happened straight after that? Well, they got a corner kick. Oh, look. They've headed it straight into the net. Oh, what a surprise. And then about 4 minutes later, they get the ball up the field again, cross it from the right, just like so many other teams have done in the past, because they know that our left side is our weak point. They cross it in, they low cross it in. Oh, well, what happens? Oh, suddenly somebody's there to finish it in an empty net. Oh, why on earth did that happen, I wonder? Oh, maybe it's because our defending is terrible. Honestly, it's just, I don't know what is wrong with this team now. And then later on, Marcus Alonso manages to pull Frank Lampard out of a hole by getting a very, very late header to make it 2-2. But we need, okay, that's the entire game in a nutshell. But what I want to talk about mainly is just the structure of this club right now. And we need to understand as the reason as to why we are getting such bad results. It doesn't really matter who we're playing, whether it's the best team or the worst team. We just somehow find a way to make things difficult. To make things so difficult to a point where it literally makes whoever we're playing against look so in their prime. Why are we letting this happen? Why are we going into games every week just performing so poorly most of the time? It doesn't really matter who we're playing. It doesn't really matter who we play. It's just the same botched up performance. It makes no sense to me, and we need to break this down. First of all, I want to talk about Lampard for a moment, because Lampard, do we really need to slash him right now? Do we really need to start saying Lampard out? No, absolutely not. I am fully behind Frank Lampard. Now, the reason I'm behind Frank Lampard is because I don't think Frank Lampard is the problem here, because we have to understand that Frank Lampard is in his second year of management. Literally in his second year of management, he is managing a club that is at the higher tier in the Premier League and has got a group of players that are experienced and have low experience. So basically we've got decent players and we've got teams that can work off those experienced players. So basically a mix. But what makes no sense to me is that it doesn't really matter what Frank Lampard uses in a formation, whether it be 3-4-3, whether it be 4-3-3, whether it be 4-5-1, whatever we use as a formation, it just seems to not work every single week. And the reason why is because I don't think that the players that we've got right now can be as prolific all the time. I don't think they are. When you think of the players that we've got right now, we've got like players that you'd expect to be doing well week in, week out, but they're not. We look at Jorginho today. What the hell was Jorginho doing today? He was poor. I don't know, what was his function today? It makes no sense. Well, he got booked, which means he's going to be suspended for the next 2 games. So maybe that's a blessing in disguise because honestly, Jorginho, I think he's literally hot and cold, Jorginho. He's either good or he's bad. Today, he was bad. I mean, I don't know what he was doing with those passes. Because every time there were times where he got the ball to the striker, but there's this negativity at Chelsea in that every time we try and go forward, we're not penetrating enough. We're not going up to the penalty box and crossing the ball in. We're very hesitant. Even at 2-1 down, we're looking to try and get a goal, but we're not moving forward. We're not pushing the ball into the penalty box to wait for the guy to get the ball on the end of it. I don't understand why we're hesitating so much. This is against Bournemouth. This is against what, with all due respect, we're scared to get behind him, cross the ball in, and get the striker on the end of it to score. Or cut inside and try and get a shot. We're not doing that. We're literally, as soon as we run out of ideas, we turn the ball away and we pass it over there. Every time! How long are we going to do this? Okay, maybe there is one thing about Lampard that I wasn't too sure about. Was when he brought on Barkley and Willian. And then later on Batshuayi. But is he in the wrong though? And this directs ourselves to the board. The board have made this happen. The board have done absolutely nothing in the transfer market. And they've literally allowed Frank Lampard to have these options. What other choice has he got to bring on those players? Because the board have not allowed him to go into the transfer market and buy players. To improve the squad, to give us more options. To strengthen where we are extremely lacking. No, the board do nothing. And yet Lampard has to bring on these same players, Willian, Barkley, Batshuayi, because that's all he's got. Honestly, I'm saying the same things every week. I don't know. Like, is it... It just makes me think, like, is it even worth me doing a review every week? Is it literally worth doing a review for Chelsea week in, week out when I'm saying the same things over and over again? This isn't going to improve until the end of the season because these are all the players we've got. Until we get the chance to buy players in the summer. Because right now, what we've got and what Lampard is trying to implement into the team every week, so because it's okay having a 3-4-3, if that's what you're going for in this game, if that's what you know works, and you're playing the same guys in that formation, are they going to perform the same way they played against Spurs every other week? No. I don't even believe that this team can even do that every week. Because it's the same mediocre players. It's the poor recruitment. And that's directive to the board, because the board have made that happen. Lampard can only use what he can use. So yes, you're going to have to expect Frank Lampard to put Willian and Barkley on. Much as we hate it, we're going to have to put Batshuayi on. Much as we hate it, I'd rather him put Tammy Abraham on. But we know he can't because Abraham's got an injury. So what else have we got? What, have we got to dip into the youth system? Do you know what? If I was Lampard, I'd have been ballsy and put someone like Billy Gilmore on. Yeah, he's young. Yeah, he hasn't played very much. But at least it's a different option. It's something new. I want this season to end. I've literally given up hope. Like, we had a chance today. We had an opportunity to get 3 points and close the gap on Leicester because Leicester lost to Norwich yesterday, I think. I think it was Norwich beat them 1-0. So we had a perfect opportunity to get 3 points and close the gap. But no, we couldn't do that because this is Chelsea, remember? This isn't any other team. It's Chelsea. We're relying on Chelsea to get 3 points where we need them. Of course, that's not going to happen, is it? We should know this by now. Chelsea fans should know this by now. When we expect to get 3 points, when there's a perfect opportunity to close a gap, of course we're not going to do it. Of course we're not. Instead, we get held by a team that we should be beating on paper. Now we've got to look behind us. Now we've got Man United potentially getting a win. Now we've got maybe Spurs getting a win. And you know what? They can get 2 points on us. Now we've got to look behind our shoulders. Now we've got to hope they can't win. Honestly, how on earth are we fourth with this team? How? Do you know, I watched a video. I don't know if you saw it before. Obviously, you're a big fan of Yunus. I'm a big fan of Yunus. Now, I watched his video where he was analysing the Chelsea-Bayern game. And there was something that he said. I think it was in the title of his video as well. It's going to take Chelsea 4 to 5 years to get back to the top level. I say that's a spot-on analogy. I honestly believe that's spot on. Because right now, this team isn't anywhere near elite status. We talk about how we got absolutely battered against Bayern Munich in our own backyard. We can't even beat Bournemouth. What does that tell you about the team? What does that tell you about the team's morale? And what does that tell you about the fitness? Do these guys even train? There's so many different questions about whether Lampard is getting the best out of them and whether the players are getting the best out of themselves, because I don't think they are. I really don't think that the manager, the formation and the players are all in synergy with each other. If you've got all three of those perfectly in sync with each other, then you're going to be like Liverpool right now. We've got Jurgen Klopp, he's got a formation and he's got proper damn good players playing for him. Liverpool have got all three of those and look where they are. We've got absolutely none of them. You look at Lampard, you look at the formation, you look at the players. Nobody is in sync. And the reason for that is because the board have done nothing to sort that out. And unless the board understand why we've got so many of these problems, we are not going to get anywhere. We're not going to go anywhere. God only knows how we're fourth. And even if we do make fourth, do we even deserve to be in the Champions League in the situation we're in? We need to rebuild this team from the ground up. Everything is wrong with the club. Everything. You can understand why I'm frustrated. I mean, I look at the stats. We had 23 shots and 74% of the possession. What do we even do with the ball when we have that possession? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All we ever do is get the ball up the pitch and then assume to try and make a shot. And we do nothing. We haven't got no shots. And yet when Bournemouth get the ball up the other pitch, we can't defend. We can't defend from set pieces and we can't stop a cross from the right. We should be beating Bournemouth on paper. With all due respect to Bournemouth, we should be beating them on paper. Instead, we've played Bournemouth twice and we haven't even won. Lost against Bournemouth at the Bridge and now we've bottled it again. When is it going to end, guys? When is it going to end? Right, this video's been all over the shop. I'm sorry if I've said things up and down. I don't know. I can't talk when I'm frustrated. I tend to sort of stutter and stutter and stutter. But, you know, it's... Can you say anything positive about this team right now? Maybe apart from Kovacic. Maybe apart from him. With all due respect to Mateo Kovacic, literally the only good thing about Chelsea right now, bar none. I honestly believe that Kovacic in the middle, doing his thing, playing his football, because he has no fuss. When he has the ball at his feet, he has no fuss. He can only do what he can do. Literally carrying the entire team right now. Everybody else around him can't be bothered. Literally cannot be bothered. And then when Lampard brings on Batshuayi for Jury, you know, at 2-1 down, you know. You look at you know what options have we got, and you know how bad we are at the moment. It was only Marcus Alonso right at the end with that header that got Frank Lampard out of another hole. How many more holes are we going to get dug out of? Literally relying on Marcus Alonso to get 2 goals. I've got to give credit where it's due. Marcus Alonso, in the last couple of games, he's scored goals and he's been putting in some okay performances, really good performances of late. And I can't blame him for his efforts for putting the ball in the net. I really can't. But it's the overall performance and the overall morale of the team and the formation that's being used. Both those things need to be in sync, and neither are. We've got mediocre players that can't even be bothered. And we've got a formation that Lampard knows works, but then what's the point when the players can't be bothered? Honestly, it's completely up in the air. Well, only the London Spitfire can save me now. I mean, they're playing a little bit later on. They're playing the Houston Outlaws in Houston in the Overwatch League. So hopefully we'll get a victory there. But although, mind you, Houston are the home side there. So it's 50-50 in that. But I'm hoping that the London Spitfire can cheer me up a little bit later on. So honestly, let me know what you guys think about that game today. But it honestly feels like I'm repeating myself over and over again. Like, when is something going to change? When are the players going to buck their ideas up and kick themselves up the arse? I'm not going to specify individuality. I'm not going to, because it's going to be debatable. I'm not going to get a player's performance right or wrong, and there's going to be some debate in the comments. So I'm going to leave that up to you in the comments, because I don't even know anymore. Like, collectively as a group, we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough to get victories. We're not doing enough to see off a game. And it's pissing me off. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And until the next video, I shall see you later. Hey door, and peace.